Welcome everybody to this 60-minute restorative yin class. So before we begin, just making sure that you've got something comfortable to rest on, whether it's a yoga mat, just a carpeted floor, a towel, a blanket, something that you can lie down on, because we're going to be spending the next hour really in some very restorative poses. Also make sure that you've got some pillows, cushions, anything kind of soft to bolster yourself up. Okay, so it doesn't have to be like an official yoga bolster. It can just be some bed pillows, some cushions from your couch. So just grab a few of those and we'll use those to support ourselves a little more during this practice. So also, I'm not going to play music during this class, but if you have perhaps another device or your stereo and you want to put on some really gentle calming music, then please feel free to do that. I'll just give you a moment to set yourselves up. And if you're looking for some inspiration on calming music, you can find me on Spotify, Rachel Fearnley, and I've got about 25 different yin based playlists there. So just getting yourself set up, and as I mentioned, my name's Rachel Fearnley. I'm the founding director of the Pineapple House Bali, which is where I'm filming this class from today. And over the next few days and maybe weeks, we're going to be doing a whole bunch of different classes from myself and Lucy, the other co-director of the Pineapple House, and we're going to also be bringing in lots of other practitioners and teachers to facilitate classes as well. So if you're watching this on IG Live, next time head over to our Facebook group Whole Health with Rachel and Lucy, as there will be streaming not only our classes but also all sorts of different classes and workshops from many different people, from Ayurveda to fitness to Pilates, yoga, mindfulness, many different things. So hopefully now you're set up, and just taking one of your pillows for a moment and just sitting on the edge of one of the pillows and just allowing your eyes to close down for a moment. And as you allow your eyes to close down, just feel your whole body starting to soften and melt. And allow your breath just to become very gentle. And allow yourself just to watch the ebb and flow of your breath. And take another full deep breath in and long breath out. Do that 2 more times. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Breath in. And breath out. And now just opening up the eyes, just very gently. So we're actually going to just start with a couple of minutes of massaging our feet. Okay, so just taking your hands, and you don't need any oil for this, but you're just going to take your thumbs, you can take the knuckles, and just start to really dig in to the soles of your feet. Okay, so you can massage the toes, in between the toes, making sure you get the balls of your feet, and making sure that you really get all the different parts of your feet, like right into the inner arch, the heel. So as we do this, I'll just explain what we're going to do a little bit more in this class. So we're going to do a really restorative yin class, and what we're going to be focusing on in Chinese medicine in the 5 element series is the season of winter and the water element. And all of the seasons and elements correspond to a pair of organs in the body, and the organs that correspond to winter and water are the kidneys and the bladder, the urinary bladder. And the kidneys, it really is our storehouse of energy. It stores this type of energy that in the Chinese system they call Jing, which basically means our essence, like our life force. And when our kidneys are really depleted through stressful situations, through fear, through burning ourselves out, through not giving ourselves enough rest, it really begins to deplete this vital life force. So this class we're going to do today is going to help us to sort of restore the kidneys, to restore the body into more balance. So on the foot that you're still on, just take your thumbs and place your thumbs go from the middle toe down past the ball of the foot to this little dent just beneath the ball of the foot. Okay, and just press in there. So this is one of the kidney points in Chinese medicine. So just give that a really good press there. So this helps to stimulate the meridian, the kidney meridian through the body, and therein just helps to kind of revitalize a little bit. So if you're feeling generally just fatigued, exhausted, quite fearful, then you can actually just sit and do this. Just sit and like press that point and massage your feet. So let's just change over onto the other foot. So just do the same and really paying attention to your feet, kind of like you would if you were a really small child. You know, just getting really curious, massaging your toes, massaging the ball of your feet, making sure you go to the into the inner arches. Just massaging your heel. And again, making sure that you really get like all parts of the foot. And you can even get to the top of the foot whilst you're doing the bottom of the foot. So water really holds the water element holds our potential, like it holds our sort of potency for our ability to move through life, our ability to navigate with ease, with fluidity through all of life's curveballs and all of the changes and all of the different situations that come along. You know, when we are restored, when we are looking after ourselves and having a balance between work and rest, then, you know, our kidneys are vital. Our kidneys are able to really support us in maintaining our energy, maintaining our life force, and maintaining our essence. So just finishing off on that foot. And then just releasing, just extend your feet out and just flex and point the toes, give the ankles a little spin in both directions. And just notice how your feet feel just after like not even 5 minutes of massaging the feet. Just notice the slight difference that you're aware of. Cool. So now we're going to move into a shape called legs up the wall. So if you are close to a wall, like if you have like a wall that you're able to put your feet up on, then just take your mat and place it up against the wall, or your towel or your blanket. And I haven't got a good wall to use right now, but imagine that the wall is here. Okay, you're simply gonna just shuffle your bum up to the side of the wall, and then as you swing yourself round, you'll lift your legs up, okay? And then you're actually going to end up with your back completely on the floor and your legs rested against the wall. You can also place something under your bum as well, if you're putting your legs directly up the wall. If you don't have a wall, like I don't, then just placing something under your bum, like a bed pillow, would be quite good. And just raise your legs into the sky. Okay, and you should be able to find a kind of a point where there doesn't feel like there's too much energetic holding, like you're not having to really hold your legs up. You should find this nice balance point. If this feels just a little bit too much, then you can just bend the knees and have the feet come in towards the bum and the knees come in towards the chest. So just choose whatever feels good for you right now. I do recommend having something underneath the bum because it just allows for the hips to be a little bit more elevated. We get a better sort of feeling for this pose. So just take your time to set yourself up. It's not necessarily the most graceful position if you're actually coming up against the wall to get into, but just navigate yourself up there in some way. And then once you're there, whether you're up against the wall or whether your legs are just in the air, just take a nice full deep breath in. And as you exhale, just allow your body to begin to let go. And so legs up the wall is one of the most restorative shapes that we can do for the body and for the mind. So we won't be here for 20 minutes, but doing 20 minutes of this every day will really, really help to just restore the equilibrium in your body, help to restore the energy of your kidneys and your bladder, allow you to calm the overthinking mind, to transition yourself into a much deeper, more restful sleep, especially if you do this just before bed. And so I often do this lying in my bed just before I go to bed and sticking my feet up the wall. And it really helps if I'm feeling a bit wired, a bit too much in my thinking mind. So feel that each exhale drops your body into a deeper rest. We're going to be here for a little bit longer, but if at any point you do need to bend your knees, if your feet are just in the air, then you can just bend the knees and come into a shape where the knees are in the chest and the feet are by the bum. And the same if your legs are against the wall. If at any point you need to slowly come out, just do so really slowly. But if you're still okay there, just keep the legs up in the air or up against the wall. And allow your breath to be gentle. So we're not trying to alter the breath here in any way. We're not trying to make it any deeper or any more profound. We're just allowing the breath just to gently nourish and nurture our body. And then take yourself through 5 more slow, deep breaths. And just observe every single breath. Observe every single inhale, every exhale. And then when you're done, if your legs are up against the wall, just bend them in towards your chest. And if your legs are in the air, do that as well. And then if you're against the wall, you'll just need to roll over to one side. But if you're not against the wall, you can just take your feet down onto the floor, and I recommend removing any bolsters from underneath you and just extend the legs out to straight. If you're up against a wall, just either staying on your side in a fetal position, or you can just push yourself gently out and come to lie on your back as well. And we're just going to find ourselves in a neutral shape just for a few breaths, just to really notice how the body feels. Notice the impacts of that shape of having your legs up the wall for a few minutes. Notice the tingling through the body, the warmth in the feet. And take another full deep breath in. And long, steady breath out. And then very slowly, if you're lying on your back, just rolling over to the side. And bring yourself back up to a seat. So now we're going to do a shape called butterfly. So taking the soles of your feet together, if you are tighter in that back line of your body, like through your lower back particularly, then just sit yourself up again, just on the edge of a cushion. So this just helps to tilt the pelvis forward. And then have the feet maybe about 40 centimeters, 30, 40 centimeters, or about a foot away from the groin. Now, if by sitting like this, your knees are kind of hovering really high in the air and you feel a real sort of tension and gripping through your groins, then go ahead and just get some more cushions, bolsters, whatever you've got around, and support under both the knees with the cushions or bolsters. This will just help to release that inner groins that can get quite tense. If that's not the case for you, then you don't necessarily need support under the knees, although sometimes it can just be quite nice. And then grab another cushion. So you may need to sort of grab more cushions if you feel you don't have enough. And we're going to fold forwards. So I'm going to take a bolster to fold onto, and I can come and fold onto that, and that feels pretty restorative. For some of you, folding all the way forward is not going to be in your physical remit right now. So if it's not, what we can do is you can actually sort of, I mean, you may not have a bolster like this, but you can cuddle something that's a little bit harder, or you can just start to stack some of the pillows, okay? So ideally, we want the head to be rested in some way. If that just doesn't feel like that's going to work for you at all, then just stay upright, but definitely have some support under the knees, okay? So we really want to be able to sort of release and let go in this pose. So if you've come down already, just stay there. If not, take a nice full breath in. And as you exhale, just allow your body to soften and melt all the way down onto the props. And then if you're not upright and kind of cuddling onto a bolster, then just turning your palms up to face the sky. And this kind of resists our temptation to kind of struggle and strain and effort in yin. So yin really is about resting in shapes rather than efforting. So we're not trying to yank or force our body beyond its limitations.
beyond its capabilities. We're literally just meeting our body exactly where it is. And then just giving our body permission to soften and to rest. So once you've found this shape that feels like it's going to serve you for the next few minutes, take a nice full deep breath in. And your exhale commits you into stillness. I invite you, if they're not already, to have your eyes closed. And by closing down the eyes, we remove the possibility of us being too distracted by external things. And just closing down the eyes if that feels comfortable, and just take your gaze more to your inner landscape. You might just want to sit here and observe your breath. You may be curious to observe the different sensations that are in your body. Or perhaps observing the different thoughts and emotions that arise as we remain here in stillness. If your mind wanders off, when you realize it's wandered off, just come back to whatever it is that you are witnessing in the body, whether it is your breath or sensations or thoughts and emotions. Can you let your shoulders and your arms get a little softer? Can you allow your hips and your groins to release a little bit more? Notice that's forming through your jaw, through your face. And then 5 more deep breaths. And really slowly, if your palms are faced up, just turn to face down towards the earth. And
if you're folded forwards, just pushing your hands gently into the earth to lift yourself up. And then we're going to pause. You can either pause just at the top here and just stay seated, maybe extending your legs straight. Maybe just taking your arms back, or you can come to lie also on your back. Just doing whatever feels appropriate for you right now. And here we're just going to pause and observe again. Just notice how the body feels. And one more full breath in. Nice breath out. And just gently opening up your eyes if they're closed, bringing yourself back up. And we're now going to come into a shape called bridge. So gently lowering yourself down onto the earth. And just taking, again, whatever sort of cushion or pillow or bolster you have, lifting up your hips just enough so you can slide that cushion underneath. So you want to make sure that whatever it is that you are resting on is under primarily the sacrum. So this is a really big pillow, so you can't really see exactly where the sacrum is, but the sacrum is the bony part just above the fleshiest bit of your bum. Okay, so just making sure that that is supported. And if you've got a big pillow like this, then probably quite a lot of your bum and lower back will also be supported, and that's okay. And then you can either have the feet on the floor, knees bent, or you can extend the legs to straight. So having the legs extended to straight opens up a little bit more through the front of the body, but it also means that we take the lower back, the lumbar spine, into a little bit more of an extension. So if that doesn't feel good for you, if it feels a bit too much in your lower back, then place the feet back on the floor, knees bent. And then you can take either the arms by the side, you can take them out to the side, or you can have them resting above your head. Just see what feels appropriate for your body right now. And take a nice full deep breath in. And deep breath out. And just feel the body beginning to soften and settle. So winter is our period of rest. It's our period of restoration, the time when we really go inwards. It's a time for us to really reflect back on the seasons that have come before and kind of gather our resources in order that when springs come, we've got life and vitality with which to spring forth. And so it's vital for our own vitality that we have a balance of rest and activity, in order that we can really support the precious adaptive energies of our kidneys. If you at any point feel the need to sigh, it's a really good way to sort of release tension and energy. Just allow the sighs to come. So perhaps deep breathing a little deeper in and a little longer and fuller out. Allowing your body to get a little softer and more relaxed on every single exhalation. Five more slow, steady breaths. And at the end of your next exhale, if your legs are extended to straight, just take a bend in the knees and place the feet on the floor. And then just pushing your feet into the earth, lifting up your hips just enough so you can release the pillow or the cushion that's behind you, and just slowly roll yourself onto your back. And then just staying here, take the feet a little wider, allow the knees to touch together with the feet still on the floor, knees bent. And just pausing and resting in this position. Notice how the body feels. Take another full breath in. Full breath out. And then slowly take your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your legs, and just draw your knees close into your chest. And roll over to one side of your body and bring yourself back up. So the next pose we're going to come into is child's pose. So coming onto all fours, and take your knees nice and wide, your big toes together, and you can sit your hips back onto your feet. Now, if that doesn't feel very achievable for you right now, you can take one of your pillows or cushions and place them either between the bum and the feet, or even sort of under the feet. Another option, if your ankles don't extend fully, you can roll up a towel or a blanket and place them under sort of both ankles so that your ankles are a little more supported. And we're going to fold forwards, and you can take a bolster or some cushions to fold onto. You don't have to if you don't have so many. And you can just slide yourself forward. You can stack your head with your hands. So just choosing the option that feels good for you. I'm going to take a bolster and just slide yourself down. And again, just allow yourself to get comfortable. Just making any little adjustments that allows you to really settle and soften into this pose. And then take a full deep breath in. And as you exhale, just feel your body getting softer. Feel your body melting towards the earth. So water also represents depth. It represents the deeper part of ourselves that oftentimes when we're super busy, when we're sort of overdoing, we ignore and we push away. But in winter, because we're called to slow down, we're called to be more introspective, we often come up against this deeper, darker side of ourselves. It can often be very confronting. And this is why also at this time, when so many of us are having to stay at home, having to stop doing and be more introspective, a lot of fear is rising up. A lot of fear of the unknown, of fear of being still, fear of not having something to do, not being able to busy ourselves from our emotions and run away from the things that we really need to address and shine the light on. So use this time, this practice, but also this time in our history to introspect on a much deeper level, to reorient yourself
go of that which no longer serves, and to invite that which is going to propel you on your path of personal evolution. Again, if you feel called to sigh, to take those deeper breaths in and those longer, deeper breaths out, just do that. Allow yourself to release any pent-up energy, frustration, fear. Five final breaths. And at the end of your last outgoing breath, just really slowly with your hands on the earth, push yourself back up to a seat. Just removing any bolsters or props that are in your way. And perhaps extending your legs forward, and we're going to again just come into a neutral position. So maybe it's sitting upright, maybe it's coming down onto your back into a mini shavasana, into a mini rest.
And just pausing here for a few breaths and observing how the body feels. One more full deep round of breath. And then from here, taking your knees into your chest. And we're going to come into a twist. We're not going to come into too long on both sides, but choosing your twist, so you can either just come in with both knees together, drop them over to one side, take the opposite arm out, or you can have one knee bent and the other, the bottom leg, extended to straight. You can also take some pillows under the knee or between both the knees. So just choose what feels right. So the knees together option is a bit of a softer twist. And you can choose either to have your head facing either left or right or up to the sky, just whatever feels best for your neck. And take a nice full deep breath in. And your exhale allows your body to soften. Five slow deep breaths. when you're done, just very gently take your knees back to center. Take your knees back into the chest. Pause here for a few breaths. Take another deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then gently lower your legs onto the other side. So just come into the same variation that you came into on that first side. So if you have both knees bent, then do that on this side. If you have one knee bent and one leg straight, do that. Take a full breath in. And exhaling, feel your body releasing and letting go. Five slow, steady breaths. And then when you're ready, very gently bring yourself back to center. Take your knees into your chest one last time just to balance out the body. And then gently extend your legs to straight and preparing yourself for Shavasana, for your final rest. So just making any last little adjustments of the body. If you want to have something behind your head, just a gentle little pillow you can do, or a pillow behind the back of your knees. Maybe even a t-shirt or some cloth to cover your eyes. We'll be in Shavasana for a few minutes and I'll tell you when it's time to come out. Just allow yourself to truly rest and receive the effects of your practice. Now just beginning to return back to the sensation of your breath, gently pouring in and out through the nostrils. Wiggle your fingers and your toes and just start to reawaken back to your physical body. Reaching your arms all the way behind you, stretch all the way through your body. Take a full deep breath in through the nose and exhale it deeply out the mouth. And do that 2 more times, inhaling through the nose. Stretch as you do so. Exhale through the mouth. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale through the mouth. And then gently with your knees drawing in back towards your chest, roll to one side and bring yourself back up to a seat. And just keep your eyes closed for these last few moments as you sit. And just notice the changes. Perhaps a deeper sense of calm, of ease, of rest. And just take your hands and rub them together. Create some heat and friction between your palms. And then place them over your closed eyes. Breathe in deeply, drawing that warmth all the way into your body. Starting to blink open your eyes with your hands still covering your eyes. And then slowly releasing. And coming back to your day. Namaste. So thank you everyone for tuning in, whether you've been watching this live or on the recording. If you're watching this on IG Live, on Instagram Live, head over to our Facebook group, Whole Health with Rachel and Lucy, where all of these videos are saved for you to watch at any time. And also we'll be showing a whole bunch of other practitioners and teachers within that group who will also be going live. If you have the ability to donate, our PayPal link is on the Facebook group video where this is streamed. The recommended donation is $20, and if that's not in your remit, then we, with absolute pleasure, offer you this class. And please invite your friends to Whole Health with Rachel and Lucy. We're building a community that's supporting everybody, the practitioners, people that need these teachings and classes. So thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.